What's up everybody, welcome back to Tank. Taylor here, and if you've been looking for the ultimate laptop to meet price, performance, and everything in between, well, look no further. What I've got here today is the Dell Inspiron 7559 15-inch gaming laptop. You might be asking yourself, why have I seen so many reviews and overviews of the Dell Inspiron 7559 or similar gaming notebook slash laptops? The reason for that is the price versus performance. You can get this particular model out of the box brand new for about $800 to $830 depending on where you look, where you find it at, certain rebates, deals, whatever the case is. That's the reason. $800 for the included i7, the 960M, the storage, the RAM, etc. is a great price for this unit. When you're looking at similar in comparison Asus laptops, which have the same specs, but I guess you're paying for the name, and they go up about $200. For this particular price point, you're gonna find Dell, Lenovo, and Asus all right around there. However, this Dell Inspiron has been well known and well advertised as being one of the cheapest out of those three. Now, I do want to prefix this entire video by saying if you're not looking for gaming and not really looking for video editing, you can probably save a few bucks and go to the i5 version, or just remove some of the features there. The reason why you would get this particular laptop is if you want to be able to game moderately or in even ultra settings on certain games, or you're very heavy into multitasking and video editing or Photoshop. The i7 with its multi-threading, 4 cores, everything like that is going to come in extremely handy when you're doing those hardware stressful tasks. An i5 can do the job, but an i7 is going to do it a lot better. Now, right off the bat, a few specifications in my loadout on the model that I received come included with an Intel i7 6700 HQ Intel chip processor, which is on the newer Skylake, quote, ARC architecture. Comes with a Nvidia GeForce Mobile GTX 960M graphics cards with 4 gigabytes of dedicated VRAM. This particular model comes with a 1 terabyte 5400 RPM hard drive as well as 8 gigabytes of onboard RAM. Along with the 1 terabyte hard drive, there is an empty slot for an M.2 SSD if you'd like to throw one in as well, and that can be any capacity to your liking. The 15-inch screen is a matte finish, as you can see in the video right here, to prevent from any major glare, so it's not gonna completely glare out like a glossy screen would, as well as an LED backlit chiclet style keyboard, so you can use it at any time of day or night and see the keys without any problems. Looking at the left-hand side of the laptop, you've got the AC power port for the adapter, red accented grill fan for cooling, 2 USB 3.0 slots, and 1 headphone slash microphone 3.5 millimeter input jack. Going on the right side, you got a full-size SD card reader, 1 USB 3.0 slot, an HDMI out, your Ethernet port, and a standard Kensington lock. Looking at the back side of the laptop, you've obviously got that red accenting once again to kind of denote that it is a gaming laptop and it's not your standard Dell, as well as this red accented Dell logo, which once again kind of just adds to the aesthetic of it to kind of make people curious and essentially to show off and say this is not your standard Dell laptop. Now, what's becoming popular nowadays is a push press rating or a pressure rating, whatever the case is, where you push around the screen or you push around the keyboard to see how much depression you receive. One of the spots that I located on the screen portion of the laptop was down near the bottom with where the Dell logo is. As you can see, it depresses in a little bit, and on the keyboard in the center, it's kind of a little bit squishy. I personally think the hinge on the laptop is well built Other than shaking my entire desk, you're really not going to receive any major vibrations or anything like that that's really going to throw off your game. Now, one particular quirk that just takes some getting used to is the placement of the trackpad. It's slightly offset to be in center with the normal keyboard. This keyboard does include your 9-key keypad as well for the numbers, which may be useful to some of you who are setting them even as hotkeys using Photoshop or whatever the case is. So the keypad has obviously been placed to try and be in line with your typing, so there's no issues in normal use. Like I said, it just takes a little bit of getting used to as compared to other laptops, but there shouldn't be too much of an issue there. Now, quickly comparing it to two other laptops I have a 13-inch Asus VivoBook Ultralight, Ultrabook, Thin and Light, whatever you want to call it, notebook with easy access, little screen, touch screen, all that, 13 inches, little compact thing. Behemoth of a 17.3-inch desktop replacement. Now, this particular model is a few years old by Asus, but it's the ROG back in the day. It's the G71GX with a 260M in it and a Core 2 Duo. However, this desktop replacement beast is all of 17.3 inches and is massive. Quickly comparing the three, just simply in size and thickness, the Dell clearly falls right in the middle there with the 15-inch screen, right in between a 17-inch and a 13-inch, which, my opinion, is my favorite size. The 17 inches are just getting so big to the point to where it's just a desktop. You're obviously going to get a little bit more performance because of just the real estate you have in the laptop. Obviously, manufacturers are able to put better equipment in there, better cooling, so you can have a higher end graphics card and etc. However, your price point is going to increase. Your Ultrabooks, as they are getting better over the years, you are still slightly restricted, this particular model having an i3. Your normal daily schoolwork, web browsing, Netflix watching tasks are going to hold up fine on this. But if you go into some severe video editing or whatever the case is, you're going to have a little bit of an issue here. As we're seeing nowadays, even 17 inches are losing them. However, the Dell does not come with an internal CD drive, which for most of us nowadays is not an issue, with most media being on SD cards or easily downloaded off the web or other sources. Whereas you might in 17 inches, only some, get a CD drive. If that's an issue for you, find a laptop with a internal drive. Or you can go out and you can just simply purchase an external CD drive, which I did a long time ago for Casey for her Ultrabook. And that works just fine for when you still need to install that CD-driven media that you might get in class or someone hands you, whatever the case might be. This has been a quick overview of the Dell Inspiron 15-inch 7559 gaming laptop. I'll give you my quick review of it. I absolutely love this laptop. I'm going to be honest, I do need to give it more time. I haven't had it for that long at all, but the time I have at it, it's smooth. One of the issues is the trackpad. The trackpad is not amazing. It's not horrible, but it's not amazing. It does slightly slip up at times. If you have I'm right-handed, so if you have your left index finger ready to like click on something, if you're doing some fine editing or something like that, at times when you when you just slightly depress your left finger, it might jump if you're using your right index finger to move along on the trackpad. Unlike others, I have been able to do some fine tuning. However, it's not recommended. I would actually go out and buy a mouse for this and just get a mouse pad. When I'm editing, I prefer to use that anyways, and it's really not that hard to lug around. But overall, guys, I love it. Now, I do have some recommendations after purchasing this. What I would do, just getting it for the $800 price range, I would go and instantly buy an 8GB stick of RAM. Make sure it's approved by Dell so there's no sort of issues with compatibility or anything like that. And if you're getting this for gaming or editing, which I would assume if you're buying this particular model with the i7 and everything like that, you're going to do a lot of video editing. So I would recommend getting an external hard drive that you can carry around with you, a 2 TB, whatever the case is. They're getting super cheap nowadays, and it's just good to have on hand. You've got an extra 8 gigabytes of RAM to give you 16 total, and you'll be set with that. You're really not going to bottleneck out with that RAM in that case with the CPU and everything like that. You've got the external hard drive. I would recommend also, when you can, not right off the bat, getting a better internal hard drive, going into your 7200 RPMs, or even throwing in a solid state if you have the funds for that. Throwing that in there to get a little bit more speed, and also throwing in an M.2 SSD, since that slot is going to always be open. This is Taylor with 10K. I appreciate you guys watching the video. Stay tuned for upcoming videos to include more gameplay, our laptop buying guides, some build guides, some upgrade guides, whatever you can possibly think of. We're going to have it out, guys. So please subscribe if you like our content and you want to be updated and notified as soon as we release new content. Go ahead and like the video if you liked it, guys. And you all have a great rest of your night. Until next time.